The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from Dallas Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown. Boom! Overshown. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Nicole Hutchison.
You know the drill. You know what time it is. This is Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. Nicole Hutchison, Patrik "No-C" Walker, Josh Rodriguez. What's poppin', y'all? How y'all doing?
We out.
Excellent.
We out you.
We outside.
We need the air horn.
That part.
Okay,
yeah, well, I tried.
Right?
It didn't
You
go
did.
well.
I don't know about you and these.
Well.
These not really impressions. Impressions are of people. I don't know about you and your onomatopoeia. It's not fire.
But at least I tried. That's all that matters.
That's not all that
Okay,
matters.
thanks.
You know,
You must be good as well. But it is training camp after all.
Thank you.
So you can practice here,
That
you
part.
can make mistakes here, and it's all good. It's all for the greater good as long as you bring it during the season,
Hey,
right?
I'll bring it during the season. I promise.
Always.
I'll practice. All right, bet.
Yeah,
Beep, 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 beep.
That part. So we're outside on our off day. Okay, player off day, and y'all are sick.
Turn off
It's
that
not
light.
really. Yeah, it's really not an off day. Yeah,
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. But
Not
just,
for us.
yeah, literally. We've talked obviously padded practice. We've got to see a couple of padded practices. What's kind of stood out to you before we get to news and notes, Pat?
I mean, honestly, what's standing out is that it seems equally balanced at the moment as far as offense versus defense. Defense won in lopsided fashion on day one of padded practice. It wasn't even close. I think we can all agree to that. My question was, how would Dak Prescott and his band of very talented colleagues bounce back on day two of padded practice? And they did exactly that.
Yes.
They didn't win in a lopsided fashion as the defense did the day prior. However, they definitely stacked more wins than losses, and it felt like they controlled the day on Tuesday.
If we're talking ones, absolutely. It's been split. First day was defense, second day was offense. But if we're talking about twos and threes, the defense is absolutely on fire right now. And it is really impressive to see how much of a command CP has over his defensive unit. I'm very, very excited to see how these players, even the twos and threes, are able to contribute throughout the season, because there are a lot of guys that are contributing at high levels already now. And the communication, obviously, is the biggest strong point for them, and night and day difference compared last year to this year.
Yeah, I've got to go with Josh on the defense in terms of first team reps. Obviously, defense on the first day. Second day was an offense kind of winning that day. But I believe second and third team, it's been defense all the way.
All the way.
I mean, we've talked about it at nauseum because it's literally that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Christian Parker has established what he wants to do. That is disguise, that is get to the quarterback, that is create turnovers, that is literally do everything beyond the sun. And so I love what he's doing so far. And you mentioned a good point with the communication.
Yes.
We heard from Shadi yesterday, and he was just talking about how it's been on a whole a whole different level this training camp. So you love to hear that. But y'all know what time it is. It's time for news and notes. Let's get it.
All right, so we got some not great news.
Yeah.
We got some bad news, and we got some good news. Let's just lead with the good news. PJ Locke was back at practice yesterday. He suffered a hyperextended knee in one of the non-padded practices last week, but he was getting worked back in on yesterday. So safety room gets a body back there. Talented young veteran signed this veteran free agency in his reunion with Christian Parker. The very bad news is the Cowboys tight ends room has lost Princeton Fant for significant time. Princeton Fant went down on day one of padded practice with what is being described as a torn ACL and partially torn MCL. He will require surgery, which is in the next few days or so. So Princeton Fant is done for significant time. He will be headed to IR any day now. TBD on if his season is done, but if I had to say, based on the injury, we probably won't see Princeton Fant until next year. So what does that do for a guy like Michael Trigg? Those are conversations that we can have here shortly. But Princeton Fant likely done for the season. At best, he's done for a significant time.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Safety's room. Safety.
You said P.J. Locke already?
Elijah Clark. Yes.
Yesterday.
More bad news for the safety room. Elijah Clark went down yesterday on a play he went down. He started grabbing his ankle. So it's apparently an ankle injury. We're still waiting for more news on that. However, if Elijah Clark can't practice for the foreseeable future, or if he misses any kind of time, that's going to be a little bit of a blow to the safeties room, but a big blow to special teams, especially a special teams room that no longer has C.J. Goodwin to help kind of anchor that unit. Elijah Clark, we saw what he could do last year with the viral tackle against the Philadelphia Eagles. His motor is relentless. He's out here impressing. He's gotten 1 or 2 name drops from Brian Schottenheimer up on the podium during press conferences. So hate to see that for Elijah Clark. Hope it's nothing serious. We'll get more information on that as we get it. But yeah, so Elijah Clark down for now. Princeton Fant down for the foreseeable future. Will miss significant time. P.J. Locke back on the field, getting worked in. Now, I will say on a minor level, I saw people on Twitter kind of, oh my God. Dak Prescott was dealing with a little bit of a sore elbow yesterday. However, he was a full participant throughout practice. Now, DeMarvion Overshown did not participate fully in practice yesterday. He had a sore leg is what we were told. But in that same breath, we were told that it's not serious. He's okay. That's the quote. He's perfectly fine. So I think that was more so the Cowboys being cautious with a player that most certainly will help form and define the linebackers room going forward. His health is of the utmost importance, and the Cowboys understand that.
Yeah, I want to talk about, there's a lot to kind of take in, but I want to talk about the safety room because you mentioned Elijah Clark, who was phenomenal on special teams. And you talk about a guy in Princeton Fant who doesn't get a lot of love because he has spent time, obviously, between the active roster, practice squad, but he has been with the Cowboys for quite some time. And you're expecting him to finally get that opportunity, maybe in 8, if they do keep 4 or 5, maybe tight ends. We don't know that, but just, from the days he has put together. Talk about just those losses as a whole, Elijah Clark and Princeton Fant, a guy who doesn't really get so much love.
Exactly, like especially on special teams, they're doing thankless jobs. They're doing jobs that you're not seeing obviously from your 1s and 2s. The unit that they're putting together, Sorensen is putting together for special teams, is missing that C.J. Goodwin. Like they're missing that guy to really take over as far as special teams goes. Like their gunner, right? Elijah Clark is definitely one of those. Like you said, he made that special play last season. Losing him now, at least if it's a significant amount of time, which we don't exactly know yet, that would be very detrimental to the special teams as a whole. However, I feel like there's enough depth there between safeties, cornerbacks, that you're able to improve that spot still. I think you're going to have a better special teams unit that you did last year because there were a lot of growing pains, especially coming off of like what Bones Fossil was able to do with the special teams unit and how great that was. I think there were some growing pains there. Overall, I think you have time to figure it out. Right now is the time.
Well, you need to have a better special teams unit. Let's not. Absolutely. Because field position was a problem last year.
You absolutely need to improve, especially the return game. Like, I mean, we're talking about Kavontae Turpin, as well, who definitely had a down year as far as, like, return game goes. But overall, that unit needs to help block as well. So, I mean, it's just across the board. They need to improve upon what they did last year, obviously.
I think from a tight ends perspective, and most certainly like you guys are talking about from a special teams perspective, special teams not only loses Elijah Clark, a promising young guy with a relentless motor, but it does, in fact, lose Princeton Fant. Right? So not entirely unlike C.J. Goodwin, Princeton Fant has been kind of that security blanket, right? He just quietly – and he does his job. He does the dirty work, and that's why he's been able to stick on this roster for so many years when so many fans don't exactly know what his contributions are. And it's because his contributions are quiet, but they're impactful. From the positional discussion as far as tight ends are concerned, what does this do for Michael Trigg, a player who has freakish athleticism but needs to develop in his technique and also needs to prove himself on special teams?
I would argue Brevin Spanford as well. Like, is he going to be required to do special teams more? Like, this is a guy that I'm like at tight end too. I'm very much considering just personally, but does that mean he has to take a step back and work on special teams? So
or do they pull someone else in from a different position
exactly.
entirely, right?
Exactly.
We're talking about the safeties, and yes, you lost Elijah Clark, but, does that make someone like a Marquise Bell have to go back and play some special teams to contribute? So Nick Sorensen, the team special team coordinator, he's going to have his hands full on trying to figure out who he can use to fill those spots, but at the same time, this is a numbers game, and the discussion then becomes it's Nick Sorensen's needs versus Christian Parker's needs on defense. It's not as easy as just saying, hey, I want that guy, right? Same on offense. You can't simply say I want that guy, especially if that guy is a name like Ryan Flanoy, for example, who Brian Schottenheimer set right up on that podium and said sometimes Nick Sorensen says, hey, can I get Flo for a couple reps? And Brian's like, no, he's kind of good, boss. So you got to be careful in who you pick to fill these roles. But I will say for those guys that are on the bubble, the bottom third of the roster, you hate to see players go down, but when you see these players go down, this is your opportunity to step up and potentially make this team.
There's a reason why there are 91 guys out there. You definitely have enough guys on your roster to fill that spot and figure it out. And like you said, an opportunity for someone to step up.
Yeah, like an Anthony Smith, for example. How does this play for Anthony Smith? You know what I mean? We were sitting here talking on Monday about Anthony Smith, the wide receivers room. You asked the question, Nicole, what's the level of confidence after wide receiver 3, which is Flanoy, and the confidence is pretty low. So the question is, how many do they carry? Well, maybe they carry a +1 now because they need a special teamer, and then maybe whoever that is, let's say hypothetically it is Anthony Smith. Now Anthony Smith has a leg in, and he can potentially show what he can do on offense as well going forward. So again, hate to see guys going down, but as the NFL goes, one guy goes down, it's an opportunity for another guy to step up. These younger guys and these bubble guys just have to do exactly that.
Yeah, I want to take our first break a little early because I know this second segment is going to be – well, I know we got a lot to say about this.
It felt early.
I know we got a lot to say about this second segment. We're talking the left tackle position battle. Is it Tyler Guyton? Is it Nate Thomas? What does Nate Thomas need to do? What does Tyler Guyton need to do? We're talking about the running back competition as well, where it kind of stands coming up in our next segment. We're going to take our first break here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time. But what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
When the days are long and there's work to do, you need the right equipment to get the job done, day in and day out. At United Ag and Turf, we've got the John Deere gear you need to succeed. Compact tractors for the everyday grind, high horsepower machines for the heavy lift, precision mowers that don't miss a line, and sports turf equipment built for championship fields. Everything you need under one roof. Visit us at unitedagandturf.com or swing by any one of our locations. United Ag and Turf. We're with you. We're united.
Picture yourself making your morning coffee. You know those few minutes while the water and the beans do their thing? Instead of scrolling, what if you video called a friend?
Connect with confidence, knowing AT&T Internet backup is included at no extra cost. Guaranteed, so even in a rare fiber outage, your wireless data can keep you connected. A cup and a call? That's the new ritual. Internet backup requires eligible AT&T wireless service, activation, and power source. Speeds vary. AT&T may slow data speeds if the network is busy. Backup may not be available in all locations. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
The tailgate started just as a pickup truck and a grill, but now they're huge. I've always tried to make people feel welcome. You don't have to be a Cowboys fan to make a plate, but it helps.
Julio, also known as Mr. Prime, lives up to the name with a tailgate worthy of America's team. That's why Bank of America champions the Cowboys, their fans, and everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2026 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Get your copy of the official 2026 Dallas Cowboys Star Magazine Training Camp Preview. Inside, you'll find scouting reports for every player on the roster, the current outlook at each position, battles to watch, and more. Plus, the Pullout 2026 schedule poster. Visit your local Dallas Cowboys Pro Shop or DallasCowboys.com.
Woo! Oh, .com. Sorry.
/star.
I forgot.
I loved it when we stacked the melody on Monday.
Yeah, that was great. .com.
There it is. There it is. It's too good.
That's so good.
It's too good.
I still feel like I need a little bit more work, but it's
no,
gonna
that
take
one
some time.
You're,
it was my best one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I
You're
love that.
cooking on that.
Welcome back into Talkin
It's
Cowboys.
The sounds, the impressions.
Presented by Black Rifle Coffee. Let's get into this left tackle.
Really quickly.
Oh yeah, you got an update.
We got an update during the break.
That part.
On Elijah Clark. Really good news. I'd say it's great news. His MRI apparently came back clean. So there's no major issue to be concerned with. Today the Cowboys have a non-practice day, kind of a walkthrough. This is going to help him as far as rest is concerned. Maybe he misses today and maybe tomorrow, but nonetheless, expect Elijah Clark to be ready for the first preseason game against the Seattle Seahawks. So great news on the Elijah Clark front.
Like those words?
I like those words.
Hey, and obviously Shotty did mention that you ain't gonna see a lot of the starters in preseason, so it's gonna be crucial for Elijah Clark.
Breaking news, guys.
Yeah. I'm not playing he said the cat's out the bag.
Let me say it right now before y'all ask.
The cat's out the bag.
I'm dead. All right, let's get into the left tackle conversation. We also heard from Shotty yesterday saying Tyler Guyton will stay at left tackle. He mentioned there was going to be a rotation of, everybody getting some reps of between Tyler Guyton, Nate Thomas, Tyler Smith. But we've seen Tyler Guyton take a bulk of the left tackle snaps. I did see Nate Thomas get in there a little bit yesterday in first team reps, but I want to stick with Tyler Guyton first. What does he need to show you, or what has he shown you that lets you agree with what Shotty made that decision?
So far in this camp, I feel like it's consistency. Okay. I think consistency with the footwork, consistency with his hands placement, and he's not like getting blown up like we've seen in certain reps. And I don't want to say that overall because he's definitely had some good games, but Shotty's talked about it numerous times. It's his consistency. So far, you see that now. And another big thing that I think I don't want to say goes ignored because I feel like we've talked about it ad nauseum, but it's his availability. When we get into the season, the dog days of the season, is he going to be available for all these games? And, obviously you're going to have a lot of movement along the offensive line. It's the most taxing unit that you have on the offense. So obviously you're going to have some moving around there. You want Nate Thomas to be able to swing if he absolutely has to. And let's not get it twisted either. He's a big physical dude. And the fact that it's even a conversation who's going to be the starter that's just indicative of how well Nate Thomas is and how consistent he is. But Tyler Guyton has the strength. He has the size. He has everything that you need out of left tackle. He just needs to put it all together for a full season.
Well, first of all, hey, Melvin, let me know if my volume is different. I moved the mic around for you. So hop in the chat and tell me about that since you're talking about everything else. Wink. When it comes to Tyler Guyton and this quasi-position battle, which is what I'll call it, I think it was a motivational tactic for Tyler Guyton. Coming into camp to say, hey, yes, you're going to have to battle with a former 7th-round pick for your starting position. Oh, and by the way, we're not closing the door on possibly moving our future Hall of Fame left guard over to left tackle if you're not doing what we need you to do. Tyler Guyton was one of the first people in the building. This is why Shotty said he won one of the off-season awards. He was one of the first people in the building as early as February, making sure that his body is ready to be durable and so that he can be as available as the Cowboys need. And I've said this time and again when it comes to Tyler Guyton, when he's on the field, yes, there are things to clean up. Penalties being one of those things, okay? But the only way you can start cleaning those up and start cleaning up your technique is if you're on the field. So one hand washes the other. I said yesterday doing the guest spot for Cowboys Break, and it was before Shotty's press conference.
You're cheating on us, man? You're doing the break?
Man, listen,
What's
man.
that about?
I saw that yesterday, and I was like,
no update.
They slid in the DMs.
Wow.
And I'm a loyal man. But they did.
It's a long camp.
They needed my help.
It's a long camp.
They needed my help, and I'm here to oblige. So I'm back in business. I'm back home. You didn't cook dinner yet, so don't complain.
Sorry to you.
Take care of home, Josh, and now come home more often. But no, all jokes aside, man, Schottenheimer, what he said yesterday after my spot on the break, in which I said that Tyler Guyton had taken 100% of the starting left tackle reps, and my expectation was that he would continue to do so unless he consistently showed a regression of some sort. Not an hour later, Schottenheimer gets on the podium and he says, Tyler Guyton's staying at starting left tackle until further notice. Just shuts the door on the competition for the most part. So that tells you what Tyler Guyton has shown this offseason to the coaching staff. That also tells you what he's showing the coaching staff and us out here through, 5 practices, 3 non-padded, 2 padded practices. A lot of the pressure that is being felt by Dak Prescott is not coming from the blind side. That's very, very promising. It's coming from guys like Quinnen Williams. It's coming from Jayshawn Barham getting sent on blitz packages, DeMarvion Overshown being sent on blitz packages, things like that. Terrence Steele, who we know is a great run blocker, needs to improve a little bit on his pass pro. You see some pressure coming from his side. But what we're not saying through 2 padded practices and 3 non-padded practices, I've not heard anyone say yet, Tyler Guyton gave up one there.
No.
That's fair.
Not at all. And you're also talking, how advantageous is it for him to be going up against a defense that he has not seen before? You know what I'm saying? He's getting everything thrown at him right now, and he's had very consistently good practices.
I thought, it was funny when we talked to, I believe, it was me and you who talked to Tyler Guyton off to the side.
Yes, it was.
Just left me out of that. Cool.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
Because you were supposed to be home.
That part.
Wow, man.
Making sure home is ready.
But no, we talked to Tyler Guyton and kind of asked him, what is the biggest thing that you need to work on? And he said hands. That's hand placement. That's not something that's not known, right? He also mentioned playing with better pad level. He said he got in the weight room. He leaned out a little bit more this year. He got his own weight room in his garage now. And so you see the work that's been put in terms of his body, how he looks. The speed is a little bit there. I think it's a little bit better as well. And you're seeing the physicality against guys like Rashawn Gary, guys like Donovan Ezeraku, who was kicked out of practice yesterday. That's sick. But they exchanged. Yeah, let's talk about it in a second. But they exchanged words. So I think you're getting the help of this improved defense to kind of elevate the play of Tyler Guyton.
Yes.
And I want to do credit the defense that has allowed that to happen. But let's talk about Donovan Ezeraku. I know we're going off topic.
My
Doesn't
goodness.
matter. We'll get back to Nate Thomas.
Yeah, we got to talk about it.
I did.
It was one of the bigger events to happen in practice yesterday.
Yeah, because that's crazy.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, Donovan Ezeraku gets kicked out of practice. Obviously threw a punch at Terrence Steele, I believe. The day before, him and Tyler Guyton got into it.
Yeah.
Hence the physicality that's happening out there, and the competitiveness out there on the field. Donovan Ezeraku, thoughts on the move of him getting kicked out of practice, or do you like it?
It's unfortunate because Shotty talked very early about whenever the pads were first coming on. It's like we're trying to limit any fights, and it's like you got to be strong enough to not throw the first punch. You have to be strong enough not to engage in that. And these are your teammates. Of course, you don't want to see that. However, I like the fire, man. I like Easy out there doing his thing. Ultimately, it's not what the team wants. I totally understand that, but come on.
Forget that. I want to see it.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Maybe I should have kept that to myself.
Tell me how you really feel.
I completely concur with you.
I couldn't
Nicole.
say the word I really want to say.
All right, so here's where I am on it. I absolutely adore the fire. I love it. I crave it. It's passion. It's it's competitiveness. It's all of the things that you want to see from your players as a coach. Okay. It's also true, though.
However,
what conversation are we having right now if in throwing a punch at whomever, Terrence Steele, let's say, if throwing a punch, we're having a conversation that he injured his hand?
Yeah.
Throwing a punch at a helmet.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So this is what I mean when I say, yes, we love the passion. We love the competitiveness. We love the hits. Talking hits.
hits talk.
Yeah, we
that
love.
was
Yeah,
great.
see what I'm saying? We love the trash talk. We love all of those things, but you have to have the ability to walk that razor thin line
between the whistles
and not go over, because if you go over, you're risking potential injury, throwing a punch, and in a game you're going to get flagged and ejected. So and then what does that do? That also costs your team field position. And what if it's a close game, and what if the division is on the line in that particular game? So this is as much about physical discipline as it is about emotional discipline. So I love it as far as the fire is concerned, but don't let the fire burn the house down is what I'm saying.
That's a good point. And plus, when you're talking about an outside linebacker room that is very competitive right now, guys like Sam Williams who are standing out, guys like, Jay Sean, but you're really an inside linebacker, but he's playing outside linebacker, but the flexibility. Right. I mean, there's so many guys in that room who could be your starting outside linebacker with a Rashawn Gary right now. So I think I love the fiery. I love the competitiveness. I just need to see a little bit more controlled emotions when we're talking about Donovan Ezeraku. But I love it, though.
Agreed.
Bring it.
I like it.
Don't lose the fire. Just
I like it when he's angry.
Don't let the fire burn the house down. That's
that part. All right, let's get back to the left tackle conversation, because I know we kind of went off topic. My bad, y'all. Nate Thomas, what does he need to prove? Because, I mean, Shotty said this offseason there's going to be a left tackle competition. He said yesterday it will be Tyler Guyton staying at left tackle. What do you need to see from Nate Thomas?
Again, it's just that flexibility, that being able to play on both sides, because I think it's, even if Tyler Guyton is named the starter going forward, that's not the last time you're going to see Nate Thomas on the field.
Facts.
I mean, you have to be able to rely on him, and his flexibility across the line is going to be very, very, very important. So just consistency, as far as I'm concerned.
For me, when it comes to Nate Thomas, it goes to the consistency, but it also goes to just slight improvement in technique, and making sure that, because I don't believe that he's a better left tackle option than a healthy, locked-in Tyler Guyton. But I do believe that Nate Thomas is, as we have this conversation, the best swinging tackle
Absolutely.
option. So what he needs to do is continue to improve to hold off guys like rookie Drew Shelton and Johnny Cornelius and some of these other guys, Trevor Keegan, a veteran, who was brought in just in case the Cowboys need to make a change at swing tackle. So for Nate Thomas, it's about staving those guys off and continuing to prove that in the event Guyton misses any time at all, that Nate Thomas, can step in and do some things.
And you're talking about, like, we talked about motivation in terms of Tyler Guyton, as far as Shotty saying, like, now it's a competition, left tackle is not secure, we need to figure out this position battle right now.
Yeah.
I think as much as it was motivation for Tyler Guyton, I think it was a confidence boost also for Nate Thomas to say that you're even in the conversation right now.
Point.
Yeah,
great point.
I think that's good for him, ultimately. Both of them.
Do you believe that, let's say, this is just me throwing things out there, okay? This is not me saying, it's what I do. It's what I'm supposed to do. Be a little messy. No, I'm just kidding.
A little?
Hey.
A little, he says.
Make it a little spicy out here.
Drop in the comments. Do you think she's messy or not?
Oh my God, that's insane.
They don't. A lot of them don't know her yet to know that she's
Talking
messy.
Cowboys Nation.
Those who saw girls
Drop
talk,
in the chat.
boys talk.
Nicole is messy. Hashtag Nicole.
I like to add a little spice. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Hashtag
Dang.
messy hutch.
But okay, let's see what happens here.
Okay.
What if, hypothetically speaking,
whenever it starts like that.
Hypothetically speaking, right? You get down to the wire. We're at the third preseason game.
Okay.
I lied. After the third preseason game. So right before week 1.
Roster cut downs.
Roster cut downs. And obviously neither of these guys are going to get cut. But
clearly,
if you are talking about who is your starting left tackle at that point, what will be the deciding factor between a Nate Thomas and a Tyler Guyton?
Is Tyler Guyton healthy? I mean,
at that point?
At that point. At that point.
Agree.
It's, that's the only
deciding factor.
That's the only way Nate Thomas starts over Tyler Guyton, is that Tyler Guyton is not available and not healthy.
And it's fair because Tyler Guyton has suffered an injury out here in training camp before, which means if we're having that conversation that you're having right now, at that point, going into week 1, post preseason game number 3, the only question for me is, did Tyler Guyton make it through training camp completely healthy? And I'm with Josh. If the answer is yes, then that's your starting left tackle.
Let me take this spice to a whole new level.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
We're at that point, and you say, okay, about even out. I don't know what that was. Anyways. What is that?
Easily distracted. Go continue.
No, that's crazy.
Thriller video.
We're at that point. Roster cut down.
A ghost is here.
And we see, hypothetically, a left tackle available. That's veteran, proven they can stay healthy. What are you doing?
You have $4 million
You're confident
cap space. Am I correct? $4 million cap space.
I can confirm. Don't get me in line.
I also need a linebacker. I also need a possibly.
Yeah.
Chris Beam just yelled out corner.
Corner.
Beam off the ropes.
There are some other positions to address, and you only have about $4 million in cap space.
Fair.
I would wait.
Hey, and this is
5.5.
5.5.
Okay,
Excuse
5.5. This is just me making things spicy.
truly.
This is not me saying that I agree, because some of
bro,
y'all
she
like to think that and take and run and all that extra stuff. Anyways, let's talk running back competition. All right.
Please.
Yeah, I know. I know y'all been waiting for this moment.
We've been waiting for all of this.
Wait, this is going to be a long segment.
I know.
Okay, all right.
But it's fine. We're going to just keep it going. All right. Jaden Blue, Malik Davis, Phil Maffa, Israel Abanikanda.
There you go.
I said it
Got
perfectly that
it.
time. Thoughts on now what that group has shown you through the first, 2 padded practices?
Well, I mean, just looking at yesterday, Javonte Williams is as solid as ever. I mean, he ripped off a 60-yard touchdown run.
I left out Javonte just because.
Oh, yeah. So we're not talking about Javonte?
Talking depth pieces.
You know why? Because
he's
believe in Javonte.
Yes!
Got it.
So.
Got it.
Right this time.
But I mean, you need to give him his flowers too, because like that spot is solidified. There's no question about who's your RB1, obviously. But he even came into camp saying like, I need to go out there and prove it again. And they're being as cautious as they were last year. We're not seeing a whole lot of Javonte Williams. However, I just needed to shout out that 60-yard touchdown run yesterday. Oh my goodness. However, the depth pieces. Jaden Blue can and will be dangerous in open space. The short passing game will be improved if he can prove himself as a consistently good pass protector. Like, because if you just use him in those short game situations, every defense is going to know, like, okay, it's going to Jaden Blue, obviously. Yes. If he can shore up that pass defense, the blocking actually, then he will be versatile enough to be able to scheme him into Shoddy's offense. I think that's what they're really looking for. That's what the whole rub on him was last year. Malik Davis, you know exactly who he is. He's the holiday killer, as Shoddy called him. He shows up big in big moments.
What a name.
I love that.
But most impressive for me so far, once the pads got on, was Israel Abanikanda.
Yeah.
Because in a big way, I feel like he
minus the fumble,
Yeah.
but I feel like he fits Shoddy's offense like a glove. Like, I think he's exactly what Shoddy's looking for. And just from the eye test, I was like, this guy looks great in this offense, like, for years to come. Like, it just feels like he blends in so perfectly with it. I'm excited to see how that plays out. Granted, we're talking depth pieces. If the roster is the thing. The roster cut down is very much a thing. I would like to still see him on this team, though.
Like you said, Josh, Javonte Williams is very much still Javonte Williams, and
no
dare
question.
I say he's going to take a step up and a step forward in his second year with the Cowboys. As far as those behind him, Jaden Blue, he's carrying over. He's stacking. Not just good days. Jaden Blue is stacking great days.
Yeah.
Okay. In non-padded, when it came to padded practice, we were like, okay, well, once the pads come on, we'll get a better idea of what these running backs look like. Jaden Blue has not missed or slowed a step at all. Phil Maffa, who I thought had a little bit of a slow start in non-padded, he's coming alive now that the pads are on, which is not surprising because Phil Maffa is kind of that bowling ball, kind of that cannonball, downhill runner. I said this in the scouting report after he was drafted by the Cowboys out of Clemson. He's a little bit shiftier and faster than people give him credit for, because his utilization at Clemson was mostly take the ball and be the hammer and just wear down and tenderize the defense. But I almost said something else.
Why are y'all like this?
But I went to defense. tenderize the defense.
Yeah.
Okay. But yesterday, Phil Maffa was standing out to me as much as Abanikanda was, as much as Guyton Blue was. So I love that. And when it comes to Malik Davis, not to be overshadowed at all, you saw what Malik can do last year. He had a breakout year contextually for, his journey, having been waived 5 times and finally getting his just due, and then taking the opportunity and, pun intended, running with it. So Malik Davis is going to remain in the mix this entire time.
Of course.
Versus Guyton Blue. My question is, can Israel Abanikanda and Phil Maffa make enough waves to apply pressure to Malik Davis and Guyton Blue at RB2? And I also we talked to Guyton Blue yesterday. And I did a feature article on him based on that on DallasCowboys.com.
Go check it out. .com. Oh, dang it. Let's try it again.
.com.
Much better. We'll get there. And here's a perfect quote. He talked a lot about the maturity. He and I spoke this offseason. He said he's, quote unquote, a different person. I asked him about that yesterday, diving into the playbook. He said, yes, absolutely, man. The game has slowed down a lot for me. It's coming easy to me now. I probably know the playbook like the back of my hand now. End quote. That is massive, because one of the biggest reasons Guyton Blue was ruled inactive so many times last season was because he was unfamiliar with the playbook, or at least unfamiliar to the point where the Cowboys were not comfortable putting him out there to try to protect Dak Prescott. So hearing what he's saying and also seeing it come to fruition in real time behind us, Guyton Blue wants that RB2. He wants it real bad.
You make a good point of being out there to protect Dak. And that's the reason, not the reason, but one of the reasons why Javonte Williams has had so much success. His pass protection is one of the best in the NFL amongst all running backs, in my opinion.
It's also, science proves that to be true.
It does prove that as well. Shout out to Patrik Walker. But when you talk about, to Josh's point of what you need to be in this offense, you've got to be able to pass protect, right? And as a running back, you got to be able to help in the passing game. You got to be able to create on your own as well, because that is what Javonte Williams has been able to do. When you look at the rest of the room, which running back gives you kind of similar traits of being able to do all of those things in one?
I don't think you have one player behind Javonte that perfectly encapsulates everything Javonte is. But the closest to me would be Phil Maffa. And I say that because Guyton Blue excels in space. He's working on his pass pro. Kind of needs to get there. He can get his hands dirty in the A and B gaps, but that's not his game. Abanikanda, like you said, he's kind of a perfect scheme fit. He can play well in space. He's shiftier, traits that Javonte has, but you're not looking to hand the ball off to Israel and say, go push this linebacker back 4 yards. Phil Maffa, though, has the same type of physicality and demeanor as Javonte Williams, because if you look at Javonte, Javonte is shifty and quick and fast and good in space and good in pass pro, he also loves getting his hands on defenders, man. I mean, that is a huge part of his game. He just wants to beat the hell out of them, right? There has to be some linebacker in his DNA, because the way he just runs and gets at guys. Phil Maffa's the same. Phil Maffa really thrives. There was a play yesterday. I tweeted this because I was curious. Phil Maffa had what would have been a great run. He took the handoff. Beautiful jump cut, patience, jump cut, saw the gap. Who fills the gap immediately? Kobe Durant, and they meet right after the line of scrimmage, if you will, at the 1 yard line, and they both had to pull up. And I said it out loud, and I said it on Twitter yesterday. In a real time situation, I fear Kobe Durant would have discovered that Phil Maffa in space, running at you full speed, is not the guy you want to get in front of. So I'm going to go Phil Maffa.
Okay.
That's a great point, man. And I would definitely agree with you.
And I love Kobe Durant.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He would have FAFO'd yesterday if Phil was allowed to run full speed.
Just for the hot take purposes, because you already took Phil Maffa. You already took him.
You can still share.
No, just for the hot take.
Okay.
I like Izzy. I like Israel Abanikanda. I feel like I said before, he just looks so smooth in Shotty's offense. I feel like he gets it. He understands. And then it's the versatility that he brings as well as far as being shifty.
Michael Jackson's coming up.
Like,
the Thriller.
We got to go back here, fellas. This is terrifying. Israel Banconda. That'll be mine. What about you, Nicole?
I say you're not asking anybody to be exactly like a Javonte Williams, right? But I love that there's a luxury of having so many of these different guys in this room who can bring maybe 3-4 of the things that Javonte Williams can do. But I've got to go and agree with Patrik. I'm sorry. Like, Phil Maffa is the guy. I can share. Sharing is caring. I got to go Phil Maffa. There was also another play, and I love me some Josh Butler. Yes. Love me some Josh Butler. But Phil Maffa ran him over yesterday. I'm
telling you.
Like, he
don't
loves
want to be in that path.
contact. He don't shy away from contact, and that's what you want in a running back in this offense. Yeah. And so, I got to go Phil Maffa. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to take our second break, unfortunately.
Let's do it.
Okay.
We got to take our second break here on Talkin Cowboys. Up next, we got bold predictions.
Okay.
Bold.
It's going to get real. Yeah, we're getting real bold.
You're going to pop that B.
Because you know who we're presented by? Black Rifle Coffee. So good. We're going to take our second break here on Talkin Cowboys. We'll be right back.
When the days are long and there's work to do, you need the right equipment to get the job done, day in and day out. At United Ag & Turf, we've got the John Deere gear you need to succeed. Compact tractors for the everyday grind, high horsepower machines for the heavy lift, precision mowers that don't miss a line, and sports turf equipment built for championship fields. Everything you need under one roof. Visit us at unitedagandturf.com or swing by any one of our locations. United Ag & Turf. We're with you. We're united.
Welcome back into Dear Doctor, the show where I answer life's questions with an ice-cold can of Dr. Pepper. Sheila, let's hear from our next caller, would you?
Dear Doctor, my friend supported me during a tough time. But what's the right gift that says, thanks for being a shoulder to cry on?
Okay, this one's easy. I say give her a delicious Dr. Pepper. Nothing says, thanks, girl, better than a one-of-a-kind soda. Yes, any Dr. Pepper flavor will do. Now, just a reminder that I don't need to be a real doctor to know that Dr. Pepper is the one you deserve.
The tailgate started just as a pickup truck and a grill, but now they're huge. I've always tried to make people feel welcome. You don't have to be a Cowboys fan to make a plate, but it helps.
Julio, also known as Mr. Prime, lives up to the name with a tailgate worthy of America's team. That's why Bank of America champions the Cowboys, their fans, and everyone who dares to ask, what would you like the power to do? Bank of America, the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Copyright 2026 Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Picture yourself making your morning coffee. You know those few minutes while the water and the beans do their thing? Instead of scrolling, what if you video called a friend?
Connect with confidence, knowing AT&T Internet backup is included at no extra cost. Guaranteed, so even in a rare fiber outage, your wireless data can keep you connected. A cup and a call? That's the new ritual. Internet backup requires eligible AT&T wireless service, activation, and power source. Speeds vary. AT&T may slow data speeds if the network is busy. Backup may not be available in all locations. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Rally days.
Sheesh.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Day, presented by SeatGeek. The day before select home games, get a tour of AT&T Stadium, autographs from the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, always a great thing, and alumni, play games on the field, and more. Get your tickets at attstadium.com/rally.
Where's the .com, Josh?
.com.
That one's for Isaiah. That was Isaiah's .com.
I think Isaiah should do that.
Isaiah, can you go falsetto?
That part.
We'll find out when you get it.
We're back, coming to you from Oxnard, California at Cowboys training camp. Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee, the official coffee of the Dallas Cowboys. And I just want y'all to know that, like, when I drink Black Rifle coffee, because I used to drink it a lot, I would get
You still drink it every day, though.
I mean, absolutely. Why not,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah. I get real bold.
How bold?
Real bold.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Bold.
Were you trying to put some bass in your voice?
Let's try that again. Real bold.
Oh, my God. Bless your heart.
You got to pop the B, though.
Bless your heart.
Bold.
Bold.
The complete absence of baritone.
All right, y'all.
It's a positive, though, that you know, it's a positive.
That part. We are going to get real bold.
Come on.
Final segment to wrap up. Are y'all ready for this?
Let's go.
You ready for this? Ding, ding, ding,
All right.
ding, ding, ding,
That's a copyright strike.
What?
Only if
don't.
I do it for a certain number of seconds.
Okay.
That was actually
Ain't that right,
perfect.
Beamer?
How
That was
long is the
perfect.
seconds?
I don't know what the seconds are, but there's a certain length of time that if you cut it off at like 4 seconds, they can't strike
sick.
you.
Everybody. Oh, no,
Okay. Yep. All right. One rookie. Y'all are sickos. One rookie who's forcing his way into conversations, and you cannot use Caleb Downs.
Oh, okay.
I already know
Jay Sean
where you're
Barham.
gonna go. I know.
You beat me to the buzzer. Okay.
Oh, you got to pick a different guy.
Yeah. I really don't have to.
Sorry, y'all.
I
You
do what I
must.
want.
That's the rules of the show, man. Jay Sean
He
Barham.
took
Come on now.
Sean Barham. I'm going to go with. You said we can't do Caleb Downs.
Nope.
So, the rookies. What you said, Beamer?
Anthony Smith.
I was going to say.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
one.
but
That
I
is
said a
really
lot
good
about
one.
Anthony Smith. So let me go Malachi Lawrence.
Yeah.
I think Malachi Lawrence is flying under the radar as one of the 2 first-round picks for the Cowboys alongside Caleb Downs. And all Malachi Lawrence is doing is keeping his head down. He's locked in, and he's getting work done. He's not one that we consistently call out as being beaten on reps, but obviously he's getting his lumps against this offensive line. So I think Malachi Lawrence is one to keep an eye on most definitely.
As far as like being under the radar, does that concern you guys for a first-round pick?
No.
No. You
Why-
know why?
why,
You know why
Nicole?
he's under the radar?
Why?
Because of Caleb Downs.
Literally that part. And it's been that since he arrived here in Dallas.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like everybody, when they had the press conference and everything, it was all about Caleb Downs,
Yes.
you know. But I think he likes that. I think he likes the fact that he's kind of flying under the radar. You know, you're not
The pressure's not
the
there
flashy
necessarily.
guy. The pressure's not there, and especially when you are in a room like I've already mentioned, like you're in, you get to learn, you get to, you know, kind of work under the radar. I think he likes it.
Yeah, I think he's out there chopping
And that's
wood.
fine.
He's out there chopping wood, most certainly. And because so many people probably view Malachi Lawrence as, quote-unquote, the other first-round pick, which is kind of an oxymoron because he's
Crazy.
still a first-round pick.
Right?
But for me, it's about viewing it the correct way, which is he's one of 2 of the Cowboys' first-round picks. And once you start viewing it like that, then you'll set the appropriate expectation. But excellent point. This guy coming from UCF, he's been doubted all his life. He's coming from a small program, and he's coming into a Cowboys program that didn't, you know, most recently have a lot of success with the UCF program by the name of Tristan Hill. So Malachi Lawrence is looking to rebuild the UCF brand here in Dallas, and flying under the radar, I think, is going to play out well for him, especially when the season gets going and opposing offenses, are keen in on Caleb Downs as from the rookie standpoint, and, you know, Donovan Ezraku from a year 2 standpoint. And then here comes Malachi Lawrence, who they haven't studied like they probably should have.
Right.
Getting a couple of sacks.
That's fair.
From the outset. So hopefully that's what we're seeing. But we are seeing him stacking some solid days.
Y'all ready to get bold again? That was a little better. Okay.
Bold.
All right. Thanks. One position battle or storyline you're refusing to overreact to.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Nicole, what is yours? What is yours?
I'm going to go Demo. Demo kind of flying under the radar. I don't know who I heard talking about this a couple of days ago, and they were like, well, is Demo really right for the inside linebacker position? I was talking to...
I think that was us on this show.
No, it wasn't us.
Oh, okay,
It
okay.
wasn't us. Obviously, I was asking
wasn't.
questions, but I can't remember who I was talking to. But it was more so, or maybe it was about the Mike position. And I think that a lot of people forget that DeMarvion Overshown battled with injuries. He's now dealt with, 4 defensive coordinators since he got here in Dallas. So you're getting basically 4 new schemes as well. I think he might be at his best at inside linebacker because Patrik made a good point. It was Patrik about you have to kind of put on some weight at outside linebacker.
Yes, and I'm not with that
and
for
he's-
Demo. And
he's
you
not
saw
with
him
that.
get much love to Demo, but there
Yeah.
was a rep where he tried to rush off the edge as an outside
Got
linebacker,
drove.
and Tyler Guyton absolutely devoured.
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And immediately I added Nicole Hutchison and
did.
Josh Rodriguez.
You did.
Keep Demo off the ball.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot more time for him to kind of really understand the mic role, because you are commanding, you are communicating a little bit more. But I think that we just got to give him a little bit more grace. So I'm not with that whole storyline of whether or not he fits that inside linebacker, really doubting the fact that he fits that inside linebacker role.
I got my storyline.
All right, go ahead. We got like 3 minutes, so let's.
Less than that.
Okay, cool.
CD, there's nothing wrong with CD. CD's doing his thing out there. If anything, like he had a rough day that first day that we talked about in pads. I think a big part of it is that CD has not been challenged like he's been challenged at training camp like this.
That's fair.
I think this, like we talked about last week, this is a bit of, or last episode, this is a bit of a chess match. And this is the first time that he's seeing the defense as well. So, I mean, genuinely, I'm very much of the mind that CD is going to be just fine. Don't worry about CD. It's just a growing pain and going up against this new defense.
The storyline I wasn't buying weeks and months ago was that there was an actual competition at left tackle. My point was, if Tyler Guyton remains healthy, there is no competition at left tackle. Fast forward to now, and guess what? Brian Schottenheimer confirms there is no competition at left tackle. So, yeah, that's a storyline I wasn't buying then, not buying now, and I won't buy in the future as long as Tyler Guyton stays healthy.
All right, man. Well, this has been fun. I know we got to go. Let's hurry up and get out of here before Chris cursed me out.
Kick us out,
that part. All right, y'all. This has been Talkin Cowboys presented by Black Rifle Coffee. For Josh Rodriguez, Patrik Walker, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll see y'all back here on Friday.
They got it right this time.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!